Welcome to the photo story tour of Kootenai Indian Country. Loretta Stevens, Kootenai Indian Liaison, was our tour guide.
Our first stop, Blackwell Flats. Blackwell Flats, or half circle of river, is by the area of Akii. Half circle of river was a spring encampment for the Kootenai. They fished and gathered berries here. Kootenai men walked from here to the east side of the mountains to hunt buffalo.
We continue our journey up to Barren Creek. The Kootenai encampment. The Kootenai spent many winters here before the dam went in. This is a heavily treed area and was good protection in the winter. The water of the reservoir now covers many of the sites. The Corps has put in rocks to help keep the water from eroding the cultural site. We look at the big quick pictographs next. Some of the pictographs look like tally marks, but Loretta does not know what or if they were counting. Damage has been done. One man chopped out a big piece of rock and someone had drawn on the rocks with crayon. There's Loretta showing her disgust over the defacing of the prehistoric pictographs. Loretta defined a prehistoric as older than 50 years old. Funny enough, this would include many members of our party.
After a delightful lunch at the Rexford Bar and Grill, we moved on forward to Rexford for the Rexford Bench. This is another area where the Kootenai people often camped. The river was quite a distance from the camp. There are 7 bands of Kootenai. 5 live in Canada, 2 on the Flathead Reservation, and 1 in Bonners Ferry.
Tobacco Plains. This area is north of Eureka on Highway 93. Grave Creek was a huge camp with several families, both upper and lower Kootenai, that hunted, fished, and gathered. They grew the tobacco in this very rich soil area. Loretta was not specific about the actual site. They used the tobacco only for ceremonies, and it was also a valuable trade item. This information is from oral history only.
Our next stop was Stone Mountain. A pictograph is on the opposite side of the road from Stone Mountain, down towards Lake Kootenai. It has been protected with mesh wire due to possible graffiti. The pictograph can't be seen from the road, so it's hard for the tribe to monitor, thus the wire. Rock climbers were putting in pegs near the pictograph, not realizing it was there. They have stopped this practice now. Hopefully this pictograph will remain undamaged for future generations.
At the headwaters of Orland Creek was a huge encampment where the whole tribe hunted and fished on the Kootenai. The river was quite a distance from the camp. They hunted bighorn sheep, elk, moose, and deer. This was probably a winter camp, as it was set way back on the protected spot.
This is Cripple Horse Road. The Forest Service Road connects the reservoir up to Wolf Creek and is an ancient thoroughway and was one of the main corridors for the Kootenai to travel up to Kalispell and Fortine. I always heard there was a waterfall up Cripple Horse where the fishing was good, but had never seen it. When stopped at this spot, I noticed it was in a canyon with steep sides on both sides of the road. Next to the road was this small waterfall-like area. I wondered if this was it.
Our last stop of the day was at Alexander Creek. This is just below the dam. Loretta said this was said very little about this campsite except that it was a very important site to the Kootenai Indians. We had a wonderful day out in the spring sunshine. We want to say thank you to Loretta for sharing her story.